I know I said that I wasn't going to be playing Jacob anymore until the new update, but I just couldn't help myself, and I did get a good run going out of it. First item room was Tech X, which, despite all the nerfs, is still a great item. There's options in the first shop, which means that all of my room drops are going to be substantially better because I get a choice between them. 2 damage upgrades in the form of the Stapler and the Mark, penny tiers from the Head of the Keeper, blue map to let me see each one of the secret rooms. No, this was already a great start. And then I got the R key, which you probably saw in the very first frame of the episode. It is one of the most powerful items in the game. Lets you start over from floor 1 with all of the items that you already have, as well as health and everything like that. I had to use it a little bit earlier than I wanted to. Specifically, I think it was the caves too, because I had half a heart, so I was gonna die. Usually you want to use that as late as you possibly can in the run to get as many items, you know, shove as many items down your gullet. But yeah, if you're about to die, it is also just like a very quick, you know, evacuate floor sort of button as well. So yeah, it was not the ideal usage, but it does mean that, hey, I get to get angel rooms now, even though I already took a devil deal. The first item I found here was spirit shackles, which is going to be extremely good as Jacob. And of course, I just also get a lot of extra items over the course of this run now. It's a real game changer, and one of the easiest ways to get a very overpowered run in Repentance right now. Spirit Shackles is extremely useful because it functions as an extra life, kind of. So, unlike other extra lives, which will either revive you on the spot or revive you in the previous room, Spirit Shackles is a little bit different on taking... Yes, I did manage to get that tinted rock. I know, you were probably all yelling at me. It took me some time, but I got it. Yeah, Spirit Shackles, on taking fatal damage, you instead turn into, like, the Lost, tethered to your corpse, Forgotten style. And if you can survive for, 20, 30 seconds, then you revive with half a soul heart, which is usually not very great, but considering that Jacob has the tendency to turn into the Lost anyway, that pretty much functions as an extra life. It is also refillable. If you get a soul heart, you can use it again past that point. It's not just a one-time use thing, which is not the easiest thing to do, but that does mean that I have a lot more insurance when it comes to playing as the Lost than usual. And Tech X is not the easiest thing to not kill Jacob with. Yeah, I also didn't notice the tinted rock in the bottom left corner, so there's a few more soul hearts that I didn't get. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to not kill Esau with Tech X, but it is a lot more directed than many other powerful items in the game. I can just make sure that he's always behind me, or I catch him with the Anima Sola off screen, or, you know, get him to dash all the way, you know, past the map boundaries, and then I'll be safe to use the item. It's still gonna require a little bit of brother keeping, but it's better than a lot of other options when it comes to powerful items. So that's good. I mean, it's all in all what you'd want out of a Tainted Jacob run. The only, like, better item that I'm going to be getting, like, directed-wise is if I got the, Mom's Knife, which is... It's very easy not to hit enemies that you don't want to hit with Mom's Knife, or Tractor Beam or something. And then just got to make sure that you don't take stuff like Immaculate Heart, or Saturn, or... There's so many things that will kill Esau so easily. Well, I mean, I'm also doing just a lot better in terms of health since the start of the run. I'll say that right now. Just like an Eternal Heart, Sagittarius, getting all stats up, including health from that. Bunch of Soul Hearts. It's already turning around a lot, which is good because one of the major problems that I had at the start of the run was that And it wasn't getting any health upgrades, despite getting like damage upgrades and everything. And I did lose health from taking the experimental treatment, which, you know, is always something of a gamble, but does, you know, it's usually a pretty easy way to get extra stats, unless you lose damage, and then it's totally worthless. Yeah. Well, Queen of Hearts and everything can drop a bunch of red hearts, so if I'm ending up taking that to the Hush fight, which I was debating, what do I want to do in this run? Because this is right now a run that could do any one of the remaining... Oh, and there's another room reset. Not quite as powerful as the R key, which resets the entire run, but this resets the room, which means extra items and extra chances at devil deals and everything like that. So, you know, adding a little bit more to the runtime, but also adding a lot more to the survivability in general. I think the plan was not to use it immediately, but to wait till the next floor when I get guaranteed angel rooms, and then try... Really, thanks TechX. I mean, but really though, thanks TechX. You are very good in this run. Really, the exact same guys. Whatever. This is probably not the most optimal usage of the Ace of Hearts, but I did get a Soul Heart out of it, so I'm gonna take it. Additionally, much like the R key, this can be used as an emergency evacuate the room button if I am about to die. So, worst comes to worst, there's always that option too when it comes to the Forget Me Now. Interesting. I do have like a Queen of Hearts card, so I could... Yeah, end a heart right there. So, the Demon Beggar, I guess? I'm a little bit scared of having Esau around here, but it's... I'm making this work. Come on. Come on, give me something. Give me some sort of devil deal item. That better be like the sun card or something. It's the moon card. Which doesn't even matter. I have... Ah, no, I was already out of red hearts. Accidentally used the soul heart there. Yeah, so... Didn't... With the blue map, I don't really need the moon card. And despite, like, buying the starter pack, the booster pack from the shop here, I didn't even get any reversed cards or anything like that. Also, what a great payout from the Queen of Hearts. I swear that's more often than not what I end up seeing as far as the payout goes. One singular heart. It can spawn, like, 20 hearts. I don't know why it only does one. Yeah. Well, with Head of the Keeper and Counterfeit Penny, I should be able to continue buying everything from shops past this point. Oh, man. But yes, I was saying, pretty much I could have gone for anything in this. I could have gone for the Beast. I could have gone for the... I could have gone for the Beast. I could have gone for the Mother Fight. And it's like, Mother Fights can be difficult, but I think that I knew that I wanted to go for all the regular routes, which is not... Oh, that's handy. Okay, whatever. I want to go for all the regular routes, you know, finishing up with the Dark Room, I think, and also get Hush, because in the new update, you're not going to be able to blow up Esau anymore to get into the Hush fight, regardless of what time you're at. So I might as well do this right now, just to make sure that I get all of the timed things out of the way. I never have to do a timed run after this point now. Everything can be taken as leisurely as I want, which is still not a great idea with Esau hanging around, but that's fine. It's still a better alternative, needless to say. Boy, I don't like the frozen baby, I gotta say. It's like, more often than not, I'm just getting caught on it. I guess it does, you know, freeze enemies and like slow down Esau and everything like that without much danger. I'm not entirely sure if it's without any danger of killing him, but yeah. Since I got enough money, decided to take modeling clay here. Random item, a potential for it to turn to a random item whenever you enter a room. So for example, you see I'm moving much faster here because I got the orphan socks. speed up and also gives you soul hearts and prevents you from taking damage when walking on creep, but, you know, it only lasts for the room, so it was really just the speed up. And you also don't get health from it. Mongo Baby here, which mimics a familiar you have, but I don't have any. Fruity Plum, which, whatever. Yeah, at this point in time, I'm starting to kind of realize it's just like, do I really care all that much about having modeling clay? I mean, it was a hard-fought item, Eden to Mother, but, you know, can't really say that it's thus far paying off a lot. The money might actually be more useful. So I suppose getting like the meat item during the boss fight was nice. At least that's a damage up. It's not that much of a damage up. I mean, usually the thing is it gives you health, as well as a very minimal like 0.5 damage up. But still, Sagittarius was like a 0.5 damage up. It also gave me like I don't know, tears up and everything too. Yep, and that was the point that I just decided, I didn't get the angel room, so let's give her another roll. I guess I could have waited until the next floor, but I think this still starts as basically spawning a new room, so if I did get an angel room, it would be less likely for me to get another angel room. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to be honest, I know a lot about this game. I don't know everything. Astral projection, as far as the item in that room, wasn't going to be useful. That's sort of like spirit shackles, but it doesn't prevent you from it doesn't revive you. It just gives you like flight and spectral tears for a little bit after you take damage. It doesn't prevent the damage either. It's one of those questionable items. Yeah, you can already see that's like when I can just blast through a room and kill every enemy before Esau even shows up, I'm doing pretty good. That's sort of the I mean, normally, wow, that was close. Normally I would be a lot more careful with Jacob, you know, artfully using the Anima Sola and everything. But here I'm just maybe to my detriment, rushing a little bit. I still think I'm doing fine. As you can see, currently Esau is pretty hale and hearty, and like, yeah, that's the important thing, really, as you know. These are some not really great items. And yeah, I had to wait for Esau to push aside the frozen baby because it was covering up one of the... It was just a battery pack, which fully charges your item. That was extremely close. Which fully charges your item, and also... What is it? It drops a bunch of like random battery types. Maybe the little mini batteries, or just the regular little batteries. Whatever. Not useful when I don't even have an active item. I'm really trying not to accidentally hit Esau a bunch of times, but that's what's happening. Thing is, if you get enough health... Hey, there we go. If you get enough health, you can... It's more important just to tank regular hits than get hit by Esau, so... Celtic Cross. On getting hit, you'll occasionally get an invincibility barrier. Probably useful because, yeah, I'm tanking a lot of hits. Although, Star of Bethlehem, when standing, it moves towards the boss room. When standing inside of it, you get homing and a pretty big, like, stat up. I think it's a good option. However, the plan was to use it during the Hush fight, but it doesn't actually follow you into the Hush fight. So, yeah. Did not actually work in the way I wanted it to, unfortunately. Yeah, I knew there was a 2-heart thing right in front of the... the shop, so I was willing to get at least a couple things of health out of that. Wasn't that useful, to be honest, but still. Man, that's all it took. I lost getting a soul heart there too. Damn it, Esau, you're so squishy. I thought I was doing pretty good when it came to not hitting him too much, and that still wasn't good enough. Ah, well, I mean, just gotta be more proactive about it, I suppose. I did hit him quite a few times in the fight, the bighorn fight. I mean, that's not so much of a problem. Yeah, I didn't notice the modeling clay had the rocket stuff there. I gotta say, I don't like rocket bombs. just you know, FYI, it's not as much as my hatred for IBS, but it is still not a fan. Oh boy, is that glowing hourglass? Did not even hesitate, because that's an item. So, glowing hourglass, yes, I was informed about this actually, and here's where I was like, no, wait, I don't want to kill him yet. But yeah, it's like glowing hourglass is an item that can get rid of Esau, and I was considering it there. I decided not to though. What you do is you, it's sort of it's a weird bug or whatever that you gotta exploit, but pretty much what it does is if you use the glowing hourglass if you leave the room when Esau is in his death animation, when he's getting grabbed by the big horn hand, dang, and then yeah, if you leave the room when he's in the big horn animation, and then use the glowing hourglass, he will despawn for the floor, which is good, but I want to do this legitimately. I felt like this was still a pretty good run going right now, that I didn't want to like cheese it out, especially because glowing hourglass does have just ran to the red poop. Glowing hourglass does have the added ability of being able to turn you back into regular Jacob if you get hit by Esau. So pretty much it does give you a 3-room recharge, but a recharge on the ability to not be losted by Jacob or Esau. There's Void. Okay, well, I guess we're doing that same thing that I did with the with the Lost run. Hey, infinite charge on glowing hourglass. Good. Look, and this was the point where it's just like, yeah, I did not even, certainly did not see that this was going to be happening, but here it is. So yes, this is, I guess you could call it effective invincibility, but I could still get comboed twice and manage to die as the Lost, except I can't because I have spirit shackles. That's the big brain play. So there you go. That's what's currently happening. This is once again maybe sort of a maybe like a little bit exploitative, but I'm not going to be using the bit where I'm gonna actually, you know, like try and cheese it out by despawning Esau. It's still gonna be like, Esau's gonna be around the entire time. I know that you can, I know how you can, but I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. So yeah, I don't know. I still think this is look, it's more of a legitimate run. It's not quite as legitimate as like the one that I did for Boss Rush, for example, which was very much exactly how the character is meant to be played, as far as I can tell. But this one, it's like, hey, it took me this long to get to this point. We're 20 minutes into the video, and this is after I already went into the caves too with Arky and everything. I feel like this is, I'm not actually getting rid of Esau. Look, it's light breaking. It's light breaking, right? Could also just wait until I get Ghost Pepper and Perfection again, I suppose. Just go do everything like that. I'll just get on with it here. Look, the run's still pretty fantastic, even despite everything. And I shouldn't need to use the void glowing hourglass combo a lot. Yeah, that was to see. It's like I had Lost Soul there. I was wondering maybe if I dropped modeling clay, I could keep Lost Soul for the rest of the. No, that's not how that works. Because in some mods, I know that it works like that. Because I would have liked that. I'm done. I'm pretty much done with the floor. I could have been easily able to get a. Could have been easily able to get a free item or soul heart or whatever from the Lost Soul on the next floor. Infestation right now, which is what, Fly Revenge, or is that Bad Guppy? Well, anyway, this time I'm actually purposely killing Esau just so I can get across the gap here and get that Soul of Eden. Soul of Eden rerolls everything in the room, items on the floor. Shot speed is probably not actually good for Tech X, but whatever, I already did it. Yeah, it rerolls all items in the room based on like chaos principle, so it can be any item from any item pool. Let's take a look. Jesus Juice. It's damage up. But you know, it also will re-roll every consumable on the floor, you know, sort of D20 style. So I wanted it to see, like, hey, I'm not going to take the Jar of Hearts in the... I'm not going to take the Jar of Hearts in the shop, switch it out with something else. Jesus Juice is a damage upgrade. Sure, good enough. Whatever. Now here's the point in time where it's like, I probably should be paying a little bit more attention to the Star of Bethlehem because, you know... Oh, Crooked Penny. Wow. 50-50 shot of doubling your items. Oh, of doubling items, consumables, everything in the room. Sort of like the Diplopia style. Or 50% shot of just turning it into, well, a single penny. It's an active item, too, which means I'm not going to take that over the overpowered Void Glowing Hourglass combo that I just managed to get. Also, I think that might have been the first time we saw a Crane game here. 5 cents to play, but, I mean, hey, you get a shot at getting an item each time, and that item can be pretty good. It was unlocked with Samson to the Mega Satan fight. Yeah, there we go. Took me a second. Want to get that Mark Rock, but I'll settle for this for right now. Ah! Anyway. I was hoping for more health, to be honest. Whatever, it's fine, though. Oh, man, that's Mom's Contact on the modeling clay, which is a pretty good item. Blocks tears, which I think, well, blocks any sort of projectile, which would be extremely useful in a room that actually has enemies in it. Tech X means that it will just block everything. Well, anyway, now there's a Tinted Rock. There is, like, other good stuff in that room. Things to get, but, you know. So there's another options. That one is 2 items that you choose from in an item room, which I only have 1 more item room to even go for in the game, but I also got more than enough money to afford it, so it's fine. Man, that's not my favorite. Oh, come on. Oh, come on again. Okay, whatever. These things are annoying to deal with. Everything here is annoying to deal with. Just say that right now. Bob's Curse, I'm noticing, might not have been a great pickup earlier. Just taking a look at exactly how it's functioning. Though I did get another Queen of Hearts, which means that provided that it's going to actually give me... Yeah, it's a little bit too close, that card. Provided that it's going to actually give me like a decent amount of hearts, that's one thing. Although the Emperor is actually a lot better. Yeah. Yeah! Because here's the thing. I won't have to worry about accidentally killing Esau and, you know, squandering my chance of getting to the Hush fight if I just teleport immediately to the heart. That's the plan, too. I mean, it'll also save me a lot of time going through the floor and everything. Because, yeah, accidentally killing Esau means that I'm not going to have the explosion effect, which would open up the... Man, my poor tears. Not going to, yeah, get the explosion effect that would open up the Hush fight. Although I will have DaVinci crash on me, as it often does when I am doing post-commentary episodes like this one. Hey, Spoonbender! That's one of the more ideal items to get as I'm using modeling clay. Bone Spurs, not so much, on the other hand, because that does kill Esau really easily. It's only going to last for the one room, so it's probably fine. This is the point in time, though, that I was thinking, man, maybe it's not a great idea to have modeling clay. Just you know, thinking about it. I mean, I like the randomness and everything of it, but it's not really doing much for me. Can I get that soul heart out of there? No. Glitter bombs plus scatter bombs, though, is pretty cool. Even though I don't really need all those consumables. Still getting them anyway. If I get another trinket at this point, and sure, whatever. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Guppy over the course of this run, because that's the only thing that trinket does. It just... Right. Because that's the only thing that trinket does. It just acts as one more source of guppying. It's like, hey, just whatever. It's not going to betray me like modeling clay has already done a couple times so far. Trying not to hit Esau, but at the same time, it's like, man, I really want the pile dead. I don't like that. I don't like this boss. He's hard. Whatever, I managed to do it anyway. Didn't even get a health up out of it, which was the major concern of mine at that point. Oh well. Curse of the Blind, great. So you're telling me that I got the options item, so that I got 2 items in the next item room, and I'm not even gonna know what they are? Ah! What do you got? Isaac's Tomb is interesting. However, I'm not going to take that much damage to go and try and get it. I mean, yeah, I could go, like, kill Esau or something and try and teleport back there, but, Isaac's Tomb gives you an old chest at the start of every floor, which is pretty much just like getting a free golden chest every time you start a floor, which is cool, but, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different. It gives you, like, a mom or dad related items, trinkets, or stuff like that. It's good, but it's not worth taking a bunch of damage for, especially because taking damage against the spikes on the floor does a full heart, which I don't know. With the way that I'm playing with Esau, I'm kind of making sure that I am being a little bit conservative on health where I can be, just because I'm probably going to be using a lot of it in the... I'm going to be using a lot of it in the Hush fight. And that's why it's just... With the whole thing... Oh, come on, Brimstone Bombs. Don't hit him. With the whole thing with Curse of the Blind and everything, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just go. Shop was a bust too, so whatever. Hey, golden trinket, though. Check that out. It's a golden pearl. What does a golden pearl do? I'm not entirely sure. It just says it emanates purity. What sort of doubling effectiveness could... How do you double the effectiveness of emanating purity? I don't know. I'll be honest here. I couldn't tell you. Hey, nice. And wanted to make sure, yes, we are going the dark room route. Because I made sure that when I was cheesing out... Man... One of the worst items in the game. Cool. So, shouldn't have even just gone. What I should have did is I should just devoided out of that room, and then, like, probably had a higher chance at getting an angel room item in the next floor. That would have been the optimal play, but I am also being chased by a Spectre of a brother. The brother Spectre, as you know. Again, I should really just be following Star of Bethlehem, but I did not see where it went. So I'm currently just looking. Okay, usually the super secret room, the second question mark on the map, appears near where the boss is. That's probably how I want to do it, right? Oh, and there it is. There's a star. See? I know. I knew what I was doing. like I got this stupid item. I mean, the hope, of course, was that I was going to... Hey, file file. Yeah, I'll lose out on the cool golden trinket that I unlocked last time, but whatever. I don't even know what doubling emanating purity does. I don't even know what the pearl does in the first place. I think people have speculated that it increases like drops for... You know what? We're doing this post commentary. I can just go look it up. Here. Let's see if I made a big mistake. I doubt it. I'm gonna make a bold proclamation right now. Probably not. Hey, Matriarch. Normally a very difficult boss to not take damage in. Now, I don't know when they change it up, but it spawns a whole bunch of hearts, which is cool. Also, glitchy music. These might be glitches. All this stuff might be glitches. I'm gonna be honest here. Not entirely sure. Considering the fact that, you know, none of this appears to be the way that it should. Okay, well. Hey, nice. There's actually, well, I guess I dropped the cat piece, so no guppy for me. The guppy also kills Esau really easily, so it's probably a good idea not to do. Grants a secondary chance of any non-specific heart drop turning into a soul heart. Okay, there you go. I don't know if that means it does anything when it's golden. Like, if it increases that chance even more, but whatever. Flat file at least got me a free ability to see inside chests, which I like. Yeah? Hey, Glyph of Balance. That means that I will be able to... Items will be the ones I need them to be. In other words, probably a lot of soul hearts and red hearts over the course of this run now. I mean, with there's options, it's like, even if I don't feel like taking that, I get extra options. But anyway, the more important thing right now is we killing Jacob because... Wow, I was actually right on the side there. Cool. There it is. And unlike Boss Rush, I don't have to do Hush as the lost version of him because this does open up an entirely new floor. So I get re-Jacobized. As you do. Well, obviously the damage up. Mom's Knife. It does completely overwrite Tech X. And then the other thing is Isaac's Tears. So, I don't know. I mean, it's, you know, it's something. There's also 4.5 volt, which could be very powerful, but I already got a very good combination, so I don't even need to buy that. All right, let's do this. So, yeah, Mom's Knife completely overwrites Tech X, which no synergies there or anything. But it's like, Tech X has been pretty good thus far. I don't feel like I want to take that. But Isaac's Tears is also pretty useless too, so it's not like I can avoid it. And then I thought, no, wait a second, I definitely do want to take Mom's Knife. This guarantees that I will not be accidentally hitting Esau when I don't mean to. And then it did take a couple tries past this point. I voided my way out of a few fights. But here we go. It's like, yeah, no, this is like the ideal item to be using as Tainted Jacob. There's almost no chance that I'm going to accidentally hit Esau. Unless I'm trying to. Or unless I'm being very careless. Also, Hush, very large target. He's going to be able to be hit by the knife extremely. He does not teleport around like the Delirium fight. And nor is he a smallish target like well, I guess none of the endgame bosses are smallish targets. But you know, for example, trying to hit like the first form of Hush is a little bit trickier. It's gonna be like a little bit harder to deal with Satan, for example, when he's doing the hoof stomping down, but it's also not a big deal at all. Yeah, just real quickly get the light on the tears in the giant circle, because it's like It's unlikely that I would lose this fight, and in fact, the first time that I tried fighting Hush with Mom's knife, I pretty much did win, but I was at like 3 hearts, so I decided to just, let's get a better one going. I got the chance to do that. Obviously, the most important thing is beating Hush, so worst comes to worst, I would have just taken that. I would have taken the win. But, like, you know, if I got the right stuff, I might as well. Oh, yeah. It's like, I with this amount of health, it's very likely that I would have survived regardless. But, yeah, it's like I am going to be taking a lot of damage. Usually the way you deal with this attack is to stand perfectly still. Find one area that is safe and stand still. Not going to happen when I'm being chased around by Esau. So it's like I can try and anima sola as much as I want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be... I'm going to be able to. That said, knife is good. Okay. And he had to die as soon as I was about to get an Eternal Heart. There are some bugs I've noticed with that. I also missed out on getting that one soul heart from the shop as well. Because some bosses will just instantly kill Esau when they die. Mom's Heart is another one that I've noticed that's done that. Pretty much, I think it's like any boss that kills all... Like, if they have summons and they kill all of the summons on death... No. Anything that has summons, they kill all the summons on death, which is Mom's Heart and... Like the mom fight, you saw in that fight that that's not what happens. The couple... Oh, that's funny. That's the thing that gives you a shop and an item room on the cathedral. But, yeah. In the mom fight, you saw that I had, like, the Globan characters still very much hanging around after I beat Mom. But in, like, the Mom's Heart fight, it instantly kills all of the spawns. So I guess that's the same thing with the Hush fight. And normally that would just be things that are spawned in the thing, but it's probably programmed to be like kill all enemies in the room because they didn't think about the fact, because, you know, when they were designing the Hush fight, when they were designing the Mom's Heart fight, they didn't think, oh yeah, we're going to eventually have an enemy that literally hounds you everywhere for the entire run. It's something that's probably, well, at least conceptually an easy fix, but maybe not realistically. Who knows? Yeah. Anima Sola the Esau a little bit too early. I think it might also work with the Satan fight here, because Satan does spawn... third phase of Satan does spawn a bunch of the exploding leech things, which probably also die at the same time, and that would include Esau. So, yeah, I ain't going to be hanging around on the floor here for too long. It's, yep, there he goes. I definitely did not hit him there, so... Hope you've done everything you wanted to do on the floor before finishing it. Well, regardless, let's be honest here. It's... The normal game-ending things do not matter anymore. They do not even, like, qualify as something important in my mind for the most part. I will just immediately look at like, oh, Satan fight, Isaac fight, Dark Room, and Chest, whatever. None of these matter. I'm gonna actually redo that and get the Soul Heart. Yeah, because I accidentally did that, and then I fat-fingered it again, which was not intentional. There was no reason why I did that a second time. Come on, Soul Heart. Want as much health as possible. You saw how he was easily able to tank my way through a lot of the Satan second phase. Well, that's a plan here too. I am trying to find the Star of Bethlehem. I forgot that it's just like, yeah, I should probably be trusting in that, because the only thing I need to do here, I'm not fighting Mega Satan. I'm not fighting, you know, anything. Oh, this is actually probably not useful. It's gonna hit Esau a lot. In fact, I don't even need to go in there. And then I didn't look, the connection in my mind was not made that the Star of Bethlehem was going through the secret room downwards. So, unfortunately, we're going to be here for a while. And this is when I realized, wait a second, I have the void. I don't have to do this room. Thank God. There is brimstone there. And you might be wondering, why aren't you taking brimstone? The brimstone combination with Mom's knife, where you just spew out a bunch of knives, is a lot better. And it is. It's true. It's also a lot better at killing Esau almost instantly. So I think I'm just going to stick with the run that's working right now. Although, speaking of that, Angry Fly, probably not a great idea to take. You know, as you can see, it is circling around Esau and dealing quite a bit of damage to him. At the same time, though, hey, there's a soul of Jacob and Esau. Unlock that thing right there. I'm not using it. I do know that the soul of Jacob and Esau has a notable crash associated with it. Where if... okay, so... the way that the soul of Jacob and Esau works is that it summons a second Esau for the room to fight alongside you, in the same way that Jacob and Esau does. If Esau dies, there's no actual, like, bad benefit to you. Unlike, you know, when you're actually playing as Jacob and Esau, if either one of the characters die, you die. It's just overall a pretty helpful extra thing. However, and this is where the problem comes in, it does also have the issue that if the Esau gets items equal to the amount of items that you have from the same pools. So it's like it's a different character, but still with pretty much, at least conceptually, as powerful as a run as you have when you use the item. However, one shop item that he can get is Birthright. And Birthright, if it happens to be on the spawned Esau, will crash the game. And I have a lot of shop items because I got, like, the Steam sale, I got a lot of money. I bought a lot of stuff. So in other words, it's pretty likely that it would just crash the game when I use that. Unfortunately. Here we are. You got like Sun Card or something. Anything that would do healing would be pretty nice right now. Magician, I'll take it. Homing, sure. At this point in time, I don't even walk to leave rooms. I just use the void when I'm like, there's nothing in here. I don't need to be here or whatever. Which is the epitome of laziness. But what do you want from me? Look, I beat Hush. That was the goal here. See, I'm getting a lot of soul hearts because of the glyph of balance once again. I knew it was gonna be pretty nice. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna reset that room just because I lost some health. And one makes you larger. Take that. Okay, and then the plan was just, I'm just gonna stand in here and tank it because I get extra damage for being at the star, and also I have enough health to do this. And there we go. So, still have Mother fight, still have Beast fight, but that was, like, pretty legit. I think that went pretty well.